Hi guys, so today we're gonna explain the economy behind Theo Town. So every time when we are in Theo Town, it's always to talk about infrastructures and to talk about how you build your city or how you build like I don't know schools and stuff. But today we're gonna talk about more important I think that's this is what amazed me in this game. It's the economy behind the city that I create and like how it works, how the government's policy works, and how the governments even spend their money. Even there are some problems such as there are no GDPs, there are no actually GDP for the city, which I think that developers should actually put in display for this game. So we're gonna explain what is going on. So sure. So we're gonna start with taxation, which is literally the most important thing in this game for me, for the person who likes more like who wants to see the economy behind something. So this is the residential, like the first, the second, and the third, which are uh they are placed according to like the I think the rank and like how much people make. So this what you can see here that's the richest people actually bring to the government more than 418k T, which stand for Theo Taiwanese dollars. So it's 418 k Theo Taiwanese dollars. So these aren't really huge numbers. So what you can see here in the second row, it's the commercial, which you can see that the third part actually brings more than 300, and like there are also industrial, which brings actually a lot more. So there are also additional incomes from the government for the governments, which are public buildings. When people actually visit the buildings that the government built, there are landmarks, which is actually probably the same thing. There are airports which are owned by the government. There are toll, like these toll are like toll booths, those things that are placed on the road, to like so you can pay. There's a DSA, which is the spatial agency, sure. And this brings the overall income at 1.92 million Theo Taiwanese dollars. So this is the economy. So this shows that this is the not the GDP, but we can say yes, the GDP of the government, but not the GDP of the city. So this is what the city gets from like its people and from everything from yes, I think so. And I think I just actually suggest the developer to actually calculate those percentage and to bring the actual GDP. So this is the spending per month. So you see that the government spends on roads, which is 3k, which is not a lot, on railway station, and like this 18 it's for like sports, I think. Yes. Public buildings, so they spend 28k when they bring actually more than that, which is like good for the government. In the words, I don't know what it's for. There are ways and like yes, but in my city you will not see the education because I built education that are privately funded, so they're actually for free. Overall spendings actually is at 336k Theo Taiwanese dollars, which actually is really less compared to the overall income, which I don't think that it's that real in a real government. They should spend more than that. So the overall like income when the spendings are deducted is 1.58 million Taiwanese dollars. So that's all about the economy and the taxation. So we're going to talk about graphs. So graphs actually are really important into the city because they show the trending and like how the government is working. And what you can see here is that the higher income population actually represents a really big a part of the population. Even in the start of this 125 year, you can see that right here the high income population was actually we reached the population line, which shows that they have actually a big influence in the city. And what you can see here is that they're low income, and right now the trend is actually flat, but except for the high income, which is still a little bit growing and again dropping. So yes, it's really weird. This is the water needed and the water provided. What you can see here is that the water needed is like this line that goes a little bit higher than this one. So it has to be higher than that. So in the start of this 250 year, you can see that there was a crisis of water. So yes, it happened. Actually, it happened in both sectors, in energy and like water. So I had to like build a structure, a like a water supply and an energy supply. But the problem is that when the gap is really big and the gap is really large, which is right here, which is going really high, and the water needed is dropping, that causes also the government to spend more money that is not actually needed. And right, it's the same problem also for the sector. So, and the roads. So, roads are built in the city. So there are like uh, a huge like network of roads which is spread around the city. But the problem is that this huge this huge amount of like of road and like and stuff creates also a problem because there are more roads that are not even used by the population. What you can see here is that the car rates in the city is actually dropping compared to the end of the 500th year. You can see that there was a peak, but today it's still dropping. The railway system is actually growing, which is good, and that's one of the reasons also why car in the city are also dropping. So for a long time, the buildings were actually the second infrastructures to be built like at a high rate in the city. But right now it's railway systems because there is a cost of living crisis and stuff. Sure. So this is like yes, the graphs that shows the income per month. Though that means the garments what the garments gets at the end, and it shows that the garments what the government gets after the taxes and like and no the government expenditure is actually deducted from it, which is actually which amounts at 300 k and something. So right here we can talk about the most important. I think this is the most important graph in the city because like it shows the sectors that are important to the city's economy and the sectors that are critical actually, and the sector that the government actually needs to uh, to more actually what to boost yes. So we're going to talk about the first sector and its history. So what you can see here is that in the first quarter, in the zero quarter, in the first year, in the 0 year, you can see that the residential was actually reaching also the high peak. Even the commercial tree, so they were both the highest income rates. Then it was surpassed by the industrial sector in also the half of the 0 year. And what you can see that in the second quarter in the 225th year, you can see that again the economy, the commercial sector surpassed the residential. That's occurred in this quarter, and at the end of the last quarter 500 and 625. So you can see right here that there was this when the commercial sector surpassed the residential, but the residential again surpassed it, and um, the commercial is still dropping, which is the consequence of the government's involvement in the economy at a really high level, which it's also it was also remarked on this. on this graph of the industrial sector, which they boosted in the 600 and in the 600s quarter, but still it's now struggling to maintain its position as the fourth largest source of income for the government. Oh, bitch, I'm tired.